He's different from Katie, the older one. He smiles and Katie is more of a shy type. Katie's a daddy's little girl. You gotta have daddy. And Bryce, I heard he likes Lloyd more than Lisa or Bobby. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could do it right here. Others could put in their Wordsworth. You know.
What's everybody doing kitchen?
I don't know. They don't
Because I may not live long, and you better record it
What's
when you
everybody doing,
can.
Judy?
All right. Well, you gotta sit there.
Okonomiyaki.
You should sit over
They're
there.
cooking some more okonomiyaki. Oh my god.
Mother put the no.
Is that aimed toward me?
Yeah.
They don't have no time to eat.
Well, where should I start?
Start when your earliest memory when you were.
Well, maybe go back to the time the name Shiomi may have come.
Yeah.
Shiomi is the guardian of salt. Shio is Shiomiru. It's possible that it may have originated in the Okayama area where the Lord Asano, Tokugawa shogun's warlord, 塩の王様って言ってたでしょ。塩見の塩の王様。だからね、そこからスタートしたかもしれない。Salt was the very 貴重なもの、very important commodity. To get the salt, 塩不足していたので、今とマーケットで買うようにいかないから、you can't just go to market and buy salt. It was very valuable commodity, and so you had to keep an eye on. So the Lord Asano was a retainer of the salt. That could be now. That's the only thing. Because it's not like Hikishio Michishio is keep an eye on tides, then you're a fisherman. But 本当の塩から塩を見るというのはやっぱり塩を管理してたっていうふうに思うんだね。So, and he drew the sword in the Tokugawa's castle, and then he had to commit harakiri, Asano, Lord Asano. So the whole group was disbanded, and then so he was no longer attached to the castle, Tokugawa castle. Anyway, so then he's known to try farming at the riverbed. Nobody wants to do farming because the old timers, other people knew it's going to get flooded. The 洪水にあってno more farming. で北海道に行ったらしいよね。Went to 北海道. So some people, my students, this is about 40, 50 years ago, they remember my father, great-grandfather, yeah. And so he ran out of the job, you might say, and they had to go to Hokkaido, the northernmost part of Japan. And well, to jump back, he was a star student apparently, and became a professor. They had such thing, and became a research director. And then he married a apparently pretty well-to-do lady in Hokkaido, and she got married to my grandfather, yeah. But then he ended up I think being seduced by, this is ちょっと恥ずかしいけど seduced by the maid in the house. And I don't know, this is kind of fuzzy, but anyway, this lady and my grandfather 離婚しちゃったね。100年前, 100 years ago, divorce is unheard of nearly, especially in the 北大、今の北海道帝国大学の時代だったら, So then he I guess ended up marrying the maid. 女中さん結婚して一緒にアメリカに行った、逃げたっていうかね、亡命じゃないけど同じようなことですよ。He couldn't longer stay in the Hokkaido University area.
So Ji-chan is from the maid?
Huh?
Ji-chan is the son of the maid?
Yeah, but the problem is, according to my mother, Fumi Hisayasu, she was having child with all kinds of people.
Oh, the maid was.
The maid, supposedly my grandmother. And so I don't know if we're really related or not. You know, that's what I'm afraid of.
Who is it?
My grandfather
Yeah.
may not be the father of these various Shiomi no Are, you know. ちょっと恥ずかしいけどね. That's the way it
Your
looks.
grandfather may not be the father of Oji-chan?
Well, my grandfather is probably the father of the first wife,
It's the son of the first one.
son of a first wife, perhaps. Because that lady first, 一番最初の嫁さんっていうかね、ワイフは女子大の Women's University President. In those days, over 100 years ago, women to become president of university, it's not smart, but もっとコネクションがあるっていうかね、いいところの嫁さんじゃないとできない。Not just ability alone. Yeah, 女子大の学長になったっていうね。So she could not do the schoolwork, you might say, become women's university president and be the mother of a child would have been very difficult. Okay, so a lot of this is guesswork, but then I got a lot of pictures from you. My father.
Oh, what? You want to go?
My father, I'll show you the picture, but my father, Roy, his picture was taken together with his younger brother. It looks like they're 10 years apart. That doesn't make sense. You know, it's just that my father must have been the child of the
Another woman.
first woman, one that he was married. But again, this is, you know, married.
Okay.
So I went to the family, Atte. We may not be related. 全然関係ないかもしれないって言ったらね、they got very upset. Yeah. いろいろごたごたがあったからね。でもその当時のあれは珍しいですよ。みんなも離婚べったにしなかったでしょ。Usually never got divorced. So this goes counter to one of the very few that divorced.
All right, so Oji-chan may not be the son of his wife.
That's right. The one that,
Bastard
yeah,
child.
the one that, yeah.
So start there. So Ji-chan was the first Shiomi
Yeah.
to go to America, right?
Apparently, yeah, right.
Do you know when he went or why?
Well, 1904 or 1905, 1904年か1905年、日露戦争の時代ね。Just right about the Russo-Japanese War. And because only a couple years ago, we sort of celebrated 100th anniversary of them coming to the United States. No.
So why did he come? He came by himself, right?
Well,
the
because,
father and mother.
もうね、逃げた。もう北大におれなくなった。Because I went to visit the family of my Shiomi side and said, your grandfather brought the shame. 恥をかかしたって言うてるから。He didn't want to say what. But then on the deathbed he said that. でもそれ以上言わなかった。だからおじいちゃんが最初の奥さんといいところのお嬢さんとうち学長になった人と離婚したからね。これはもうその当時は大きな恥。今だったら離婚なんかで普通でしょやっぱり。その当時はもう big shame. Yeah.
So you think he left Japan because of shame? I thought he went to university.
Well, yeah, he was a professor at the Hokkaido University. Yeah. In other words, but then because he brought a shame in those days, yeah, he could no longer stay in the university. Hokkaido University.
Oji-chan.
Kaishi.
Your Oji-chan or my? No, your Oji-chan.
Your great grandfather.
Oh yeah.
He could no longer stay there in those.
Well, he went. So he came to America.
That's right.
Oh, with Oji-chan.
Yeah, Oji-chan was Roy Shiomi was only 4 years old.
Oh, but he was born in Japan. In
yeah,
Hokkaido.
Obihiro.
Okay, that's good to know.
Then, but the Roy must have been amazing. 畑で働いて、あれしてから、で日本から来て4歳でしょ。だけど、4 years he came, but working, going 2 years at the University of Washington, 2 years working, 大変ですよ、それ。But he got the honors. They call it Taubera Pi. That's the honor society for engineers, students, yeah. Then he went to Massachusetts Hoka Daigaku, MIT, accepted to Massachusetts Hoka Daigaku. In those days, unheard of. 日本人なかなか入れなかったのよ。To begin with, there weren't too many that's that age anyway, you know. But 今でも大変. Even now it's hard.
Wait, what year was Oji-chan born? Your father, what year was he born?
He's 29 years older than me, and I was born in 1938. I would say probably 1900, just a wild guess.
No, you said he's 29 years old?
When he came, it was 1905 or so when he came, Russo-Japanese War.
And he was 3?
He was 4,
Oh, okay. So he's
1901.
39 years older than you, about 38.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I think I remember Roy was 29 years older than me. Maybe
So that means he was born in 1909. Is that right?
Could be, but I had to recalculate there, okay?
All right.
But all I know is he came when he was 4 years old, you know.
1905. Oh, that's 1901.
Then get this now. Then went to MIT. But the thing is this is something that came up recently in the Freedom of Information. Radar was the greatest weapon ever, not the atomic bomb. By the atomic bomb, at that time, atomic bomb was already, war was already over essentially. But what decided the war between the battle between battleships and carriers was determined by radar. And you know what the radar research was being done? Massachusetts Institute of Technology, otherwise known as MIT. They had 4,000 people working there. I would suspect most of them are MIT engineering students. So they didn't want Roy there. Born in Japan. I think somebody made a big mistake of getting Roy in there. There was, there was an initial. Japan was after that too. Admiral Yamamoto. He studied at Harvard, which is only 1 mile away from MIT. Recognizing that is probably the greatest weapon